Hello. Before I get back into my project, I already showed you some other things that I've gone through. I think I showed you the ultrasonic cutter, and I showed you a multimeter that I use that I prefer now over the more expensive ones because technology is getting better and whatever. The ultrasonic cutter is a very cool addition. And if you remember a few videos ago, I was showing you how to install the antenna booster, the 2.8 gigahertz antenna booster on the FlySky Noble NB4 Plus. NB4 Plus, and the other one, the Pro Plus. They're probably all laid out the same inside. So when you're doing that kind of work, you need, I recommended at that time to get a package of tools off of Amazon, which is basically this. And it gives you this very, very useful tool for plucking up MIPI cables if you're working with, DJI stuff or whatever, or walk snail. You get all kinds of tools. You get little all different size tweaker screwdrivers. Everybody likes tweaking once in a while. All kinds of tools for working and maneuvering around circuit boards. I did not know at that time about this particular set of tools, okay? So what this is, it's a rechargeable screwdriver, all right? Now you're not gonna go working on your gas cars with this thing. It doesn't have enough torque to do that, but what it is good for are smaller things that use like 2mm screws. I think that's the largest I've used before it starts struggling, okay? So I'm using 2mm Allen head screws, socket head cap screws, and the FRP, G10, or carbon fiber kind of stuff. So this will work for that kind of stuff. On the larger stuff, like on my my 1/8 scale RC cars, it's not going to work for that. You still have to use a larger power drill. Or, where's my other tool? I had another tool that I got from Sam's Club, and it's okay for that size work. Anyway, I can't find it. I think I left it in the garage, but whatever, it's irrelevant. So let me show you what comes in this tool and why it's helpful for our world, okay? If you're working on drones, you've got 1mm and 2mm screws all day long to take the frames apart, whatever. This will be helpful because you have some of those frames as 16 screws, whatever, okay? So this is rechargeable. It's got 3 speeds and it has a light at the end. See? It's good for old eyeballs. There are other things I enjoy about this case. So let me aim the camera down and I'll show you what I'm impressed with. And why, if you buy this rechargeable screwdriver, you don't have to buy that other case for working on electronics, because this tool set with this screwdriver has all that stuff already built into it, and it does some other cool stuff. Check it out. So in this toolkit with the rechargeable screwdriver, okay, you're going to get all of these different heads. Let's see, the smallest, they have like T1 nuts, they have star drives, they have smaller nut drivers, okay, all kinds of cool stuff in here it's just brilliant what they've done. Okay, one of my favorite uses for this, I'm going to prove it to you with a screw here. There's a socket head countersunk drill bit or screw. We're going to find the appropriate size, which I think is right here. Nope, next size down. All right, so here we go. That is 0.5mm or whatever size that is to drive that screw, okay? And One of the nice things is right here, okay? Excuse the dust. It has a degausser, like it removes the magnetic field away from your tool, or you can add magnetism just by putting your tool bit in there and swiping it around a couple times. You don't have to do it 100 times, just once or twice, and it'll magnetize it or demagnetize it. All right, so just for instance, we are not magnetized. See? I'm just pushing it around. Now, if I take that tip and I just take it around like this, it's magnetized. You see that? It's magnetized. So I'll take that off. Then I'll go to the degaussing side here. I don't know what it's technically called, but from my recording studio days, degaussing is when you took away some of the magnetic field from the heads on a recording machine. Now look at this. It's not magnetized anymore. Can't pick that screw up. You just do this thing again, and Bob's your uncle picks it up. This is so... You might not be fascinated by this, but if you're working with tiny little screws on a drone or whatever you're working on, sometimes you don't want the tip magnetized, okay? Because it's annoying. There are times you want it magnetized and times you don't. All right, so we beat that up. Put that bad boy back. Some of the other cool things that are in here is you have a driver, okay, and it's got a ball end. You can put your whatever bit you want to use up in here. All right, and you got yourself another tool for your machined aluminum, okay? That's a beautiful thing. One of the other things hiding in here is an around the corner driver. So you put that bad boy up in here and you can drive things on an angle like that, okay? I don't really have any use for it, but it's in there if you want to, and it just tucks itself in there, okay? I have no idea what this is for, whatever, but it's in there. Some of the things that they give you, which is the same as what's in this case for working on electronics, is you have, they look like guitar picks, but they're used for trying to pry things up off of an IC board or PC board or electronics board, whatever you want to say. And then you have this kind of picker where you can wedge underneath and lift things up off of your workpiece. And then you have tweezers. All right, look at that. You got yourself some tweezers. So if you buy this screwdriver set, you have a lot of tools in here that you would use for working on electronics. And then you don't have to buy that other case because everything's in here. Am I endorsed by this company? Do they send me stuff for free? No. I'm just giving you an old fart's point of view. And was it worth $100? Absolutely, especially if you are a drone guy. I am not a drone guy, but I do work on things that have 2mm screws in them, and it comes in handy. I don't use it all the time, but it definitely comes in handy. All right, thanks for watching.